Good evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with the schedule of meetings adopted at the organizational meeting held January 5th, 2022. Adequate notice of this regular meeting of the Kenilworth Board of Education has been provided to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the local source, on January 20th, 2022. The meeting location has been changed via notice on May 5th. A copy has been filed with the Kenilworth Borough Clerk, posted in the board office, the Kenilworth Borough Hall, Burley, and Hardy Schools, as is provided by the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you, Mr. Ganella. Can everyone please join me in the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Ganella, can we please have roll call?
Biner? Here. David? Here. Drogan?
Here.
Habather?
Here.
Jankowicz?
Here.
Ladati?
Here.
Panici?
Here.
Tiers?
Here.
Zimmerman?
Here.
All present.
Okay, thank you. We will now have receiving of the minutes. Can I please have a motion to accept the receiving of the minutes from November 14th, 2022? Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Biner, seconded by Mrs. Tiers. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Ganella, do we have any public correspondence this evening?
Yes, we do. We have two items of correspondence. We have certification of the results of the general election held on November 8th, 2022. And we have a letter from the Department of Education regarding the Winfield Board of Education reporting the number of Winfield students sent to David Burley High School and the fact that it does not qualify for board representation under 18A, representation from sending a school district to a receiving school district. That is
Okay,
public correspondence.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to accept the monthly correspondence?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Habather, seconded by Mrs. Drogan. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Now we will have our superintendent's report and presentations from Mr. Arlington.
Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to launch my portion of the agenda by introducing and sharing space with the board student representative, Kaylee Penn.
Aye.
As you know, we just had Powder Puff and interclass games right before Thanksgiving. The seniors did lose to the sophomores, but we made a comeback with our win in interclass games. The college planning and post-high school workshops will be happening this week for 10th and 11th graders. During that, students will review their PSAT scores from October. They will also establish College Board accounts and Naviance accounts if they haven't already. Our winter concert featuring David Burley's bands, choirs, and the new dance program is Wednesday at 7 p.m. in our auditorium. Winter athletics have also just begun. We just announced that the spring musical will be Mean Girls. The esports program is getting underway. Our esports arena has been equipped with the latest gaming computers and software. The team is assembling now, and competitions start in January. More on that next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Great job.
Okay. Anyone have questions for Kaylee on her report?
Thank you.
No? Okay. Thank you, Kaylee.
Thanks, Kaylee. I'm going to start with an HIB report and then share a few quick informational items. So tonight you'll be voting on October's HIB cases that I shared with you in November's meeting. In October, right, so these are the cases you'll be voting on later. In October, there was one investigated case at Harding that did not meet the standard and no cases at Burley. You have in your packet November's cases of HIB. So for those, the chart is reflective of those cases. 3 cases were investigated at Harding, 2 did not meet the standard, 1 did. At Burley, 1 case was reported and investigated, and that case was founded. So you have the details of that case, along with the November enrollment and discipline report in your packet. Happy to take any questions on those.
Okay. Everybody just take a minute, take a look at it. Anyone have questions? Would you like another minute?
I'm all good.
No questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Arlington.
Sure. So while there's no formal board presentation tonight, I'd like to thank all the individuals and school stakeholders who helped me to present to the Board of Ed and the public over the past calendar year. We've had a healthy mix of board-level presentations that aim to inform, persuade, and celebrate. Thank you to any and everyone who helped to recognize a dozen or so students who were spotlighted across 2022. Our 2022 board-level presentations also included HIB self-assessment scores, school culture and climate data, school and district goals, including updates on our progress, Start Strong standardized achievement data, New Jersey Student Learning Standards assessment data, the school's budget, Educators of the Year, teachers earning tenure, and many, many presentations on our successful October 6th Taking the Leap bond referendum. We also heard from AP Computer Science students. We had celebrations of our valedictorian and salutatorian, a welcome to new teachers, updates on our summer projects, celebratory recognitions of our buildings and grounds crew, retired teachers, and most recently, our IT department. Also, I can't forget to include that at the top of 2022, we were faced with navigating the COVID Omicron wave. In response, we delivered several board-level presentations on our ever-changing COVID protocols. As I regroup for the start of the next calendar year, I'm looking forward to sharing a slate of new presentations that continue to keep the board and the community informed of the good work we're engaged in and how we're overcoming any obstacles that challenge that good work. As part of my own evaluation by the board, I appreciate the board's feedback about what types of presentations and information you're looking for moving forward, and I'm excited to organize those so that I may meet that expectation and continue to share our growth and achievement broadly. Prior to the meeting, we celebrated Mr. Jankowicz, but I wanted to just reiterate some sentiments for the purpose of the record. Given that this is Mr. Jankowicz's last meeting, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to Mark for having served on the board since 2015. Mr. Jankowicz has served on several committees, including most notably the Curriculum Committee. As all board members, Mr. Jankowicz was elected to a volunteer position and has spent many hours committed to ensuring a quality education for our students. Mark, I appreciate your dedication to our students and the calm, measured, and fair approach you bring to doing the school district's business. Your concern for rankings and achievement are indicators you want the very best for our students. You've always shown an interest in curriculum, instruction, and college and career readiness. I know I've personally felt supported by you mostly because I know you support our district and its visions and the hard work it takes to enact those things. So on behalf of our students, I thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Good, Mark.
Now also seems like a great time to wish our school community well as you celebrate the holiday season. I hope if you're available, you get to check out some of our winter concerts and presentations this week at Burley, as Kaylee mentioned. On Wednesday the 14th at 7, the band, chorale group, and dance groups will be performing. The next day at Harding at 6:30, you can also get into the spirit of the season with Harding's chorus and band performances. We hope to see you there. Happy holidays. That's very important.
Anyone questions for Mr. Arlington about anything in his presentation?
Just, the students came and sang at the, I don't know if it's old business, new business, or if this would be, came and sang at the senior center, and it was just really, oh, God, they sang so well. We should be very proud. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to have the seniors enjoy something like that. And there was also some students that came and did some crafts,
Oh.
and that was really special too. So, thank you for
I will
letting them come and join us.
relay that message.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll have report of committees, review of resolutions, and board discussion. Up first is Finance, Facilities, and Negotiations, Mr. Ladati.
Okay. The administrators have been working on their portions of the 23-24 budgets. Mr. Ganell has also been updating the Excel program and preparing for their January submissions. Obviously, I don't know what the board, the financial committee is going to look like next year, but again, those meetings are going to start up again to get ready for the budget process. Mr. Arlington, Mr. Ganello will be meeting with the county, executive county superintendent this week for the district's mid-year budget review. The 22 annual audit, again, the state, as always, every year, the deadline has been extended because of the pension issues again, right, Vince? It's always the
Correct.
same issue every year, we just can't get it done on time, so the new deadline is in January of '23. As I said last month, the district's getting ready for the winter. We are now prepared for the winter. The equipment is all in working condition, and the staff is ready to do the outstanding job that they've always done with snow remover, et cetera. We also purchased a new snow blower, replaced the old one. The district is in the process of developing stakeholder and design meetings for projects in the referendum. Mr. Ganello and Mr. Connolly will have weekly meetings with the architects moving forward. As for financials, all the financials are proper, the billing report, the checks, everything else is all in good order. There's not many resolutions this time. Number 7 is the bond sale. If you want to get into that after I finish my report, maybe Vince, you can get into if any questions on the bond. I just want to call yourself attention to 8 and 9, which is the ACES program, the Alliance for Competitive Energy Services. I don't know anything history about that. It was created by the New Jersey legislature to help schools be more efficient in procuring energy from alternate suppliers to benefit the taxpayers. Over the last 12 years, it's saved about $270 million statewide, the program. Basically, the contracts are contingent on the bids that are lower, right? So we're not gonna ever pay higher to get in this ACE. ACE is always gonna come in at a lower amount of money that we're gonna be paying if we just pay ourselves. So I recommend that get passed. That resolutions will be valid for 5 years, but we can opt out of it at any time we want. There's nothing on negotiations at this point. And as for that, I just want to thank Mark also for serving on the negotiations committee with a few of us and the financials. You always were there, Mark, with great comments, thoughts, et cetera. But thank you. You made it a lot easier. Appreciate it. That's all I have.
Anyone have questions for Mr. Ladati about the bond sale or any of the other resolutions? Under finance at this time? Nope.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, you do watch that, just because, like, they had sold electric for you, can get it cheaper, but then if you don't watch it, it does go up. So you're saying it's a higher price, but we're getting it for a lower price, and it won't go above the,
No, it'll never be over the
Okay.
price that we normally pay. That ACES program would always come in lower, so we're always gonna be saving money, correct, Vince?
Well,
Go ahead.
if, when they go out to bid, if the bid is higher than the public utility, they cannot accept that.
Okay.
They would revert back to the
Right, so
utility,
it's
which
always
over
gonna
the
be-
years we have.
Yeah.
Sometimes the utility.
So you watch it.
Yes, that's the whole purpose of this,
Thank
is so it's just not in one spot. It's constantly monitored.
okay.
Anyone else? No? Okay, thank you, Mr. Ladati. Next up, Personnel and Management, Mr. Haberthor.
Thank you. There's 6 resolutions tonight. Resolution 13 is an approval for a leave replacement. Number 14 is a change in aides hours. Resolution 15 is approval of home instruction staff. Resolution 16 is the co-curricular stipend positions for the 22-23 school year. Resolution 17 is the approval of athletic stipend positions for the current school year. And number 18 is the approval of substitute staff. That's it.
Anyone, any questions for Mr. Haberthor?
The assistant basketball coach, is that a new position, or did someone leave?
It's not a new position, it's just a new adjunct coach filling that position.
So it's a second coach, or,
It's an assistant coach. An assistant coach.
okay, okay. Thank you.
You got it.
Anyone else? Okay, next up, Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Jankowicz.
Sure, 3 resolutions. Resolution 19 is the district's vision goals and mission statements for 2022-2023. Resolution 20 is the adoption of certain curriculum, and Resolution 21 is the HIB report from October of this year.
Anyone have questions for Mr. Jankowicz for Curriculum and Instruction? No? Okay, thank you, Mr. Jankowicz. We'll now move on to old business. Does anybody have any,
Michelle, we have the discussion on the calendar.
okay, you want to do it, you want to do it now before old business? Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
You can, will you?
Yeah, I can. A couple weeks ago or last week, I sent you the email with the list of meeting dates for next year. That will be, as you know, that will be approved at the organization meeting, but it's a good practice to review them now, so we're not making changes on the fly that evening. So if there's no objection, if there's any comments, this would be the time to have that discussion, whether those dates are acceptable. Follows the same pattern that we've traditionally had, the one regular meeting on a month with a couple of special meetings for during budget season and in peak hiring seasons, as well as around graduation, just in case there's some student matters that we have to take care of. Other than that, it's a pretty basic calendar, like we're traditionally used to. Some board members did make mention that they thought it might be not a bad idea to change the starting time from 7:30 to 7. So this would be a time to take some type of straw poll to determine whether that's something that you all want to do.
Yeah. And last year we discussed it, I remember, and then voted, so I think we should probably do the same thing. Is everybody okay with the 7:30, or do we want to vote to move it to the 7? Kind of get an idea. Bob, what do you?
For me, 7 o'clock is fine.
Okay, how about
I
you?
also would like 7 if it's,
Okay.
it's just, Kyle's here so long,
Yeah.
get out of here half hour early.
Okay.
But if it's okay with most of us.
Okay.
But
Do 5
whatever.
o'clock.
It's not bad,
One
I'm
thing
sure
we
these
do
guys.
need to consider,
Well, let's go this way. So,
I'm fine.
okay. Allison?
7?
Okay.
7.
Okay, I'm fine with 7. What do you think, Anthony?
Well, I just got, I'd like 7, but are we gonna have enough time to get the committee meetings in
Yeah,
between
because you do
6 and
have
7?
committee meetings the
So
hour
I'm just
before,
wondering-
so the
and then
assumption is everyone
What
knows that.
about,
but you
Vito
can't-
getting here and?
It's up to what everybody wants.
And I'm just, those are the 2 concerns I have. Can we have enough time for the committee meetings, and can Vito, or
So like if it was at 6.
team get here?
And if you're having the committee meetings at 6, and part of the reasoning behind sticking with our 7:30 for so long is people who have to come from work to get here, sometimes that becomes a problem.
Understood, so
Getting here
that's,
for 6
On the
o'clock can be difficult. Same as for public wanting to attend. That extra half hour makes a difference between whether or not they've had time to feed their children, whatever else, do what they've got to do, and come to a meeting.
Okay.
Which is why I think 7:30 is what we should stay with.
But on the same token, we used to not meet before the meetings. We would do it on another day if we had to, if you needed longer time. It wasn't always before or after. This is fairly new, so.
okay.
No, we've been doing this
And then
for a
Anthony,
long
what
time,
is yours
Paula.
if you had to pick, 7:30 or 7?
I would pick 7 as long as those 2 as long as we could get the committee meetings in,
Okay.
and then as long as our legal team could get here by 7 too, but, which I'm sure is not gonna be an issue. Those are the 2 things I thought of. I mean, it'd be nice for Kyle and Vince to get home a little earlier also, so. But I'm okay with 7 if everybody else is. I'm working from home now, I'm not traveling anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So,
I wouldn't mind staying for a committee meeting after, not hold up everybody if it was necessary.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, everybody, a majority is saying that they'd like to move to 7, with the committee meeting potentially being at 6. And, if it has to be scheduled a different day, that seems to be the consensus.
What the majority is saying, correct?
Yes, okay. So I guess should we make a motion at this time, Vince, to move to 7? Or we don't have to, we could just change it, right?
I'll just put that on the agenda for the,
Reorg meeting?
and then you actually vote on it, and if you want to change your mind then, you can change your mind then. It's
Okay.
just that that's the way the agenda will be reflected.
yeah.
Sounds good, thank you.
And if you and if Kyle, is there an issue with it, Kyle, just let us know. ahead
Yeah, I
of
mean,
time.
you shouldn't change the time because of
Yeah,
us.
I mean, I've been doing it for 34
yeah,
years, so it's
No,
like,
no.
comes with the
doesn't
job.
matter.
No, I mean, not so much going from 7 to 7, just more of if it's an issue going to 7, if you think of anything that would kind of,
No, I mean, the only issue I would have is committee meetings, but like someone just said, I mean, there's nothing saying that the committee can't stay 15 minutes after also to finish it if they
okay.
can't, if they really didn't get through everything,
Okay.
so.
So
Good.
When has a committee meeting ever been 15 minutes long, though?
No, I'm saying if they,
It has to be 15
if they,
minutes
to
longer.
finish it, they could stay, hey, guys, stick around for another 15 minutes.
Thank you, everyone. So at this time, old business?
Can I just say thank you to everybody? Appreciate the recognition today. Very nice of everyone to show up and for the generous gifts, so thank you. Thank you to the board for making this an enjoyable experience. And good luck. I think you're in good hands and hopefully great things to come in Kenilworth. Looking forward to seeing what happens.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Don't be shy to come to a meeting sometimes.
Every on, I'll be there. That's my seat. I'm gonna put a little plaque on my, move it over there in the corner.
Step up to the mic.
So one portion of old business, we wanted to remind the public that there are a lot of updates on the website regarding the referendum and how the plans are coming along. Everyone should check it out so they can see the updates with all the information that Mr. Arlington posts regarding the referendum. Under new business, does anybody have any new business? Okay, we have a couple of things we wanted to mention. We wanted to congratulate the cast and the teachers of It's a Wonderful Life. It was a wonderful production. We also want to congratulate our many sports teams on their victories this fall, and we hope everyone enjoyed their sports celebrations. We would also like to thank the PTO members and the families for the holiday celebrations and for the wonderful holiday shopping at Santa's Workshop. We know it was a huge undertaking and a tremendous amount of time. And we would also, in closing, want to wish our entire community a joyful, restful, and happy holiday with their loved ones and a happy new year. And we're excited for 2023 and all of the new memories. And to close out, Mark, thank you again to reiterate what everybody said for your service. We will miss you. Hopefully we'll see you around town and we'll keep in touch. Okay. At this time, we will open up the meeting to the public for comment. Is there a motion to open the meeting to the public? Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Drogan, seconded by Mrs. Tiers. All those in favor of opening the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motions carry. The meeting is now open to the public. Mr. Ganella?
Public comment will now be accepted. The Board of Education sets the limit for the public to speak at the board meeting to 5 minutes per person unless prior permission has been granted by the Board of Education for extended time pursuant to Board of Education Bylaw 0167. For the record, please include your name and address prior to making your comments.
Okay. At this time, does any public wish to make any comments? No? Okay, can I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Okay. Okay, motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mrs. Drogan. All those in favor of closing the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The meeting is now closed to the public for comment. Mr. Ganella, are we prepared to vote on the resolutions?
We are.
Thank you.
We have 21 resolutions on this evening's agenda. Do any of those need to be voted on separately? Okay, hearing no objection, we will vote on these 21 resolutions all at once. Biner?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Drogan?
Yes.
Haberther?
Yes.
Jankowitz?
Yes.
Ladati?
Yes.
Tiers?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
Panici?
Yes.
Motion's carry unanimously.
Okay, Mr. Ganella, is there a need to go into closed executive session this evening?
Nope.
Okay, so at this time, if we can ask somebody for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion.
Motion made.
You wanted to do the last one?
Say it,
I
say it,
take it
Mark, go
back.
ahead.
What am I saying now?
Second,
making a motion.
second.
Motion to,
Okay.
close the meeting?
Motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Jankowitz. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Motion carries. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you. Wonderful holiday. Happy
Yeah,
New
Merry
Year.
Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, Bob, can you throw your notes, can you sign these real quick?